So you started off on 156 on Stony Plain Road.
Yes.
This is where your residence was.
Yes, and that wasn't too far from my shop.
Where was your shop?
Okay, what happened is when I came back, there was a lady named Dolores Barker. She opened a shop, and there was Mrs. Brown. Mrs. Brown, she's a Canadian, black Canadian. Not Mrs. Brown, Mrs. Walker. Mrs. Walker had a shop in her basement. She was the first one ever as a black. And then there was another lady, she passed away too. Her name is, anyway, she had a shop. And then Dolores came from England and had a shop. But her shop did not, I worked with her for 1 year, and that's when I told her I was moving. The shop only had 2 chairs. It was an old-time shop. It was no more than 500 square feet. And I got the shop. And I named it Shirley's House of Beauty. I don't have a car. I don't have nothing. Whatever she had in the shop, I had to take and make it used. In that shop, I opened a beauty school with my shop, with my hairdressing. The beauty school took off because here's a black shop teaching people how to do my type of hair. Well, I couldn't do the hairdressing and do the school at the same time. I wrote my own curriculum. The government accepted it. I did my homework. I called to New York where I was working. I asked a lot of things, a lot of questions. And in New York, they tell me what to change up, what not to change up, and how to put it together. And I did it, and I presented it to the government. After 3 months or so, they accepted my curriculum as the first black hair shop teaching. I had 5 students.
Where did your students come from, Shirley?
All over. When I said all over, they Vancouver, wherever they heard I had a black shop. I had people from Jamaica. I had, the 5 of them were different nationality. And they all graduated.
Did you continue teaching after that?
After that, no. I closed it down.
The teaching part?
Yes, the teaching part, because I couldn't do both. Because you have to spend quality time. Nobody know about black hair. And here it is, it's quality. You can't just take half an hour for theory. Because your morning is theory, your evening is practicum. And that's how it was. And it was very, very difficult, a one-man show.
Mm-hmm. Did you have anybody else working with you?
Nobody. Oh, I had one girl, and I had to get this girl. Her name, she was from Tisdale, Saskatchewan. I will never forget her name and the place, because I'm still searching for her, just to see what she did of herself. Mm-hmm. She was a fantastic hairdresser. And I had to put a white face in the shop in those days. You could not have me out there unaccepted. Why? They would not accept me.
Who would not accept?
The white people.
Okay.
And especially there were a lot of Ukrainians. Oh no. No, they would not accept me.
So tell me about it. The shop was always on
156th Street and Stony Plain Road.
How long did you stay in that location?
The first one is about, I would say, my first shop was about 10 years. Mm-hmm. I had Shirley's House of Beauty. Okay. Yeah.
And you lived just a couple blocks away?
And I lived right across the street, not too far.
Okay.
This way, every evening, whatever I do, and in those days, hairdressing was $1.50.
$1.50?
$1.50. Perms were $3. A cut was 75 cents. So at the end of the week, if you make $250, you were rich. Because my rent was only $75.
Mm-hmm.
When you go on and pick up grocery with $20, you had money, Ray. You got change.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything was, 25 cents or 10 cents for lettuce, 10 cents for cucumbers. Liver, we cover ourselves in. Liver was 75 cents a package, fresh liver. You could afford to eat a good steak
Yeah. Yeah.
in those days.
So you developed your business.
I developed my business. My business took off very fast.
What did you call it? Shirley's House?
Shirley's House of Beauty.
Was that always your business name?
Always my business name.
Okay.
And then it got too small. I only had one girl working for me because it's just 2 stations. And this girl came to me and she asked me for a job. And as she walked in, I said, "You're hired." Then I had a Chinese girl who would come and work for me. She didn't know a word of English. All she knows, "How are you?" or different little things. And she worked for me. Her name is Gina Wong. She worked with me for almost 20 years. And I teach Gina everything that was wrong in language for her to learn the language. But she learned it. She learned. Today she owns her own business. And we are very good friends still. If my head hurt me, she'll be the first one there. Very good friend. Over 40 years of friendship.
So you moved around over the period of time.
Over the period of time,
How? You said Shirley's House of Beauty.
yes,
It was your business name.
yes.
Did you have any other business name, or did you?
Yes, after I left Shirley's House of Beauty.
You left it.
No, after I moved on.
Okay.
I did not know about corporation and limited companies and all of that. Nobody, and for me to get some money from the Chamber of Commerce, they put me through the 10th degree for $500 because I had to go back to school. I had to go to business school. I had to make up a portfolio and telling me about my forecasts. What do I know about forecasts? But being there and going to school, I learned everything how to run a business, the plus and the minuses, what to look for, what not to look for. I learned how to pay taxes. Mm-hmm. But in those days, taxes was nothing. You never had all this what you're going on now. But you learn that in how you have to pay yearly taxes. Mm-hmm. Not, if you make X amount, you have to learn how you have to get somebody. If you're smart enough, you can do your taxes. And the government have to get this, and you have to explain this. Mm-hmm. So
you learned to manage your business?
I learned to manage from the Chamber of Commerce.
So, so what business did you develop, or businesses?
Well, I moved from my small little 600 square feet to a bigger shop down the street on Stony Plain Road. And I hired a guy, because he was a barber from Trinidad. And I said, I don't want to use my name no more because I cannot use my name as a corporation or a limited company. This is all what I learned from the commerce. And he said, why? I said, no, if somebody sue me and they sue me on my name, that is a big problem. But if they sue the limited company, that's different. They're not suing me, they're suing the company. Mm-hmm. So I learned this through going to school and lots more. And I said, I need a name. And then he gave me the name Ebony and Ivory, black and white. He said, let's stick with that.
What was his name?
Pat Ansel. Okay. Ansel Elborn.
Okay.
Yes, he gave me that name.
So he worked for you.
He worked for me for many, many years. I still a friend of mine, always come to the shop and see me.
I know him.
And that's where history begins, because I just move on, move on, move on. And then to this day, I have a lot of people who know me, or their kids know me through their mother. And they said, "Aren't you Shirley, who used to own Shirley's?" I said, "Yes. My mom used to come to you. She always talk about this black girl." I said, "Thank you for calling me black." She said, "Well, at least you didn't call me colored."
Mm-hmm.
You know? She said, "That's funny." I said, "Yes."